Good evening, welcome to the Opinion Box. My name is Levi Kones. Tonight I'm having a chat with the Member of Parliament for Dagoretti North, the Honorable Beatrice Elachi. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations for winning that seat.
Thanks.
Was it easy? Was it hard? How was it? How was the journey like?
A very interesting journey. A journey where you go through a lot of challenges. Mostly me being a Luya, and then my mom is a Kikuyu. Oh my goodness! Then
it came to the fore.
Oh, a lot. Then joining ODM, people are like, she has just come to use ODM as a ship to win. They didn't even know when I joined, so it was very interesting. And one of the challenges I would face up to now.
Yeah.
Sometimes I become very objective until someone might think, oh, now she's hitting on ODM, now she's hitting, you see. But I always tell my viewers, I like being objective because it's not, everything is not politics.
Yeah.
And sometimes, this is a country.
Let me ask you about that, because it seems we have a problem with that. When you're so objective, I see it on social media, say something against this side and you're branded.
Yes.
The other side.
Yes,
say
yes,
it this
yes.
way and you're branded.
Yeah.
What do you think is causing that so much?
It's because we have refused to come out of the politics. As a nation, if we want to build this country going forward after post-COVID, and I'm hoping many of us have seen the challenges we've gone through, the challenges that are even now across the world. I mean, the inflation, not just in US, I saw France, everyone just came out. They want Macron out. And so it is something that we need to come out of politics. If we come out of politics, that does not mean you have left politics. But if you come out and ask yourself as a nation, where are we headed? How are we going to do it? Together. You see, one of the most unfortunate thing is where we find ourselves, we want to play the politics fine. Opposition, the government. But government, you can't do it. Today I saw everyone there. And how come we were not opposing in the appointments? You see, that's why I was saying our new constitution was embedded in a way that a country can work together, but appreciate that I have the ideals that I believe in. Maybe that's why I'm in party A and you're in party B. And in those ideals, when I find my interests are not being taken care of, then I have to come out and just say my interest is not being taken care of, the interests of our people are not being taken care of. And so I will come in and critique positively so that government can change. But I think we want to see the old days of opposition. It will be so difficult with this new constitution.
Where we are praising.
Yeah, and some are praising and some are just saying this is wrong, whether it is right, it is wrong. I don't think the new constitution anticipated that, and we will not have it. Yeah.
Speaking of the new constitution, one of the interesting things we have seen with the government that has come in is creation of the prime CS post. There are some who are saying, sounds like, a violation of the constitution. What do you think about it yourself?
One is that the president has a right to even come in with new structures, the same way the governor has a right to create structures, which the county governments gives him that leeway. The constitution at one point is very, I'll say, vague on it, but then now it comes in and the same advisors, so it will depend. The only mistake now would be how we pronounce them. So Kenya Kwanza pronounced itself and said they will bring the whole new structure into Parliament and we'll have to amend so that we create that post. I think that was the mistake they did. Sometimes it's good to just create a post and then bring it and let people now talk about it. But because you pronounced it yourself, then you have to do it. And so that will bring an issue because of that pronouncement. But I think even the issue of caste, people, but they were there. It's only the name that was changed. But they are all called advisors. So I think the president is more smart at what he has done. He has taken advisors, and he will bring also cases. So he'll have more than what maybe Uhuru did. But in terms of policy structure, it was there. They were all advisors, and they used to be advisors for the president. All those who were there as cases at that time. Before.
So it's just a question of name change.
Name change. And so that maybe that is why it has brought a lot of, but they were there. Same peg, everything. Nothing changed. Same remuneration, same work that they do. But now what the president did was to now bring them into the ministries so that they can support the CSS. Yeah.
So well, some would say, you know, even with the new government, perhaps we are now just about 30 odd days or so in. They would say it would be too early to say much about it. But even a new baby can be seen, and somebody can say, oh, they have nice fingers, they have nice toes. Do you have something you can say about this particular government? What do you think so far with the way they have started?
I've always said we've all been in government. Some of us have now moved in opposition. But this is a government that started in 2013. We have only changed our names. And we have to be very clear when we are speaking to Kenyans that we've just changed the name. There's nothing. If you knew government from 2013 to 2017, you can't tell me in 3 years you cannot know that government. You can't. It will be wrong. Because you have been through this process. You knew very well the policies that were there. So you want to come in maybe to realign those policies, but more better, I believe you want to enhance better than what maybe when you are in that other administration, what happened. And so you can't come here and now tell Kenyans, we are new. New in what? You are not new that you have not been in government. All of them have been in government. At one point, you were a minister. At another point, you were an MP. At one point, and so you have walked through government. Then you've come, my deputy president has now become president. If it is our deputy president now, you are the PA of a president at that time, the prime minister, deputy prime minister. And so you know how government runs. What I will just say is that it will be very wrong to shield yourself and start saying, this government. When Kibaki took over government, he knew I have been with the late President Moi together as a minister of finance, and even went to up to vice president. And so I knew the challenges. I knew what that time the president was doing wrong. Mine is to come in and now rebuild what I believed, the values I believed, the ideology I believed in, and more importantly, what I felt that was being done wrong, we come and now start doing it right to build our country. And he did it. And what I will beg our government to do, Kenya Kwanza, is that can you first keep quiet and do the actions? The more you speak, the more people are getting worried. They are thinking you have started another campaign. Yet you have been in this campaign for 7 years. It will be very unfair to Kenyans. We believed when they were taking government, we will never hear anything as a campaign. What we will hear is Parliament being told, this is not being done right, we need the policy, we need the regulations, we need an act for it to work.
But they're just setting the stage, saying, you know, there's nothing in the coffers.
But you have nothing in the coffers. But at the same time, you have been able to travel out of the country, isn't it? So if you found the coffers were with 90 million, then all of a sudden, in your time, things have started changing, they are better. You can get money to travel out of the country, you can get, and not just little money, we are talking of billions, millions. And yet, you come back home and tell Kenyans, there's no money in the coffers. It will be wrong. That's why I'm saying I don't want to blame or do anything now. I had said we give them their 100 days, then when you come here, you're able to say, now this, wrong. But then they are themselves who are always, you come out, you demean others, you keep on insulting. It is not going to help Kenyans. That same insult you are saying now, insulting Raila, insulting Uhuru, yet you wake up in the morning and go open an infrastructure that Uhuru has left. Because you haven't done it in 30 days. It means he worked. You've gone today, you've opened affordable houses. It means he has worked. It means he has left you with a few things.
Do you feel like no credit was given to him?
No credit was given to Uhuru. I've never, you know, one thing people think I really fight for Uhuru, but one thing they forget, I don't speak to him, but I like saying what is right. Even if President William will do things right, I will come here and say the president has done, because it's for the country. One thing I told myself is that the president, as I believe, and any leader, and if indeed we believe we are working within the 10 commandments and the Bible that we speak of, and they speak of more than even us, is that you cannot abuse the president. You cannot insult your president. He is the pillar of the nation. He is the unity pillar of this nation. Regardless whether the 6.9 million who voted for us and Raila, the Prime Minister, regardless of the 8 million people who never voted for either of us, and those who voted for the 7 million who voted for him.
Yeah.
But we cannot. We will be killing our own country. But that does not mean I won't come here and speak and critique. I will. But I will critique in a positive way to tell them people are crying for change. Kenyans are saying, please don't take us back to a campaign mood. And I would say this, please don't use that as a way of shielding yourselves so that Kenyans will not question. Because when you go and the first thing you speak about is Uhuru has done this, Uhuru was this, Uhuru was useless, Uhuru stole. He stole. You knew he has stolen. You have the courts, you have all institutions. You have a right then to ask where the things are and bring them back to the country, if indeed you know that. And we also felt, if God has given you something, you can imagine God has given you a reward. I think what God is expecting is a country that tones down and now relook at their eyes and ask ourselves, all the things that we have said in the past, are we the same animals? Now, if we are going to do better, we are now vetting in the new CSS, and I'm hoping they'll be able to get very good support. It is not about the president. One of the things I have come to realize, a country does not just work with the president. The president will say everything he wants in a good way. But when it comes to me, the technocrat, I will be looking to the law to protect the president, to protect myself, and protect so that we cannot be questioned when this project moves on. So you can imagine, while you are thinking, you'll finish this in 3 months, you'll find yourself 6 months you haven't done it. And so you will get also frustrated. Same way Uhuru got frustrated. He went to the army. I was amazed. The deputy president also said, we shall use the army. Even the president said, we shall use the army in some of the things that we feel they have to add. He did not go there because he was wishing. He looked at what is best. How am I going to give development to my people? And this is the best way of using our security agencies to do some of this development, but you'll achieve and you'll spend less, then you go for that. Yeah. Yeah, but he was told you are militarizing. But they forgot.
In fact, they've said, the military, they've said, I heard the CS nominee, Aden Duale, saying the military belong back in the barracks.
Fine, they belong back in the barracks, but again, his boss came out just a few days ago and said, we can be using them for food security. So back in the barracks to do what? We don't have money to be
paying for war.
to be paying just people to sit in the barracks also. And we are not praying for war anyway. And we can see how war is coming up in Ukraine and Russia. And now all the European countries have blown it there. We are supposed to be asking ourselves, in this inflation, in all this that is happening in the world, what is best for your country? How are you going to ensure you have food security? Because it won't come outside. It has to come from us now.
Yeah, I've had an accusation level that you guys, that your side of the divide, that you're not oversighting properly, that they want a formidable opposition.
They will find
In fact,
it.
the words they said is they don't want a petty opposition.
We are not going to be petty. By the way, if they think, I think they are the ones who are becoming petty now, I am sorry to say. Because why am I saying petty? Why would you remember a person if I have won, do I have to go back to my constituents to always speak about my opponents? I should work for the people of Dagoretti North. I should be thinking positively on how anything they did wrong, it has to come out positive. But every day you come out, even on the floor of the house, there was a day they just talked about Uhuru. I was just looking and I was saying, you speak about Uhuru, it's like you have not come out on your campaign mode. You're still in anger. That anger, you can't now bring it to new people who don't understand what happened to you people. We don't know, you know.
Do you feel we haven't settled down?
We haven't. We haven't, because we are just going back to the same mistakes we did. Same mistakes you say Uhuru did is where we are being taken back. I would tell you, the president, who I respect, with all due respect, Dr. William, has an agenda, has a vision. But I'll tell him, his team is going to let him down. Because one, they are not thinking through the way he's thinking. They don't believe, for them, he wants to leave a legacy also. But for the team that is coming in, if they will think the way this other team thought, business oriented, everything must be bought by money, everything if you want you must pay something, then we are lost. They are the ones who will let my president down. He will not be able to deliver. And at that time, we who are being told we are not oversighting, we will show them how oversight is done. Yeah.
Do you feel like with the cabinet nominees that were, given by the president, the ones currently undergoing vetting, did it give you confidence that, that vision that you say he has will be executed? What was your thought?
If he will bring the right PSS, he will have his vision, because they are the accounting officers. If he brings the right PSS.
Who are the right PSS? The
right PSS are people who have worked in government. But if you're going to bring in again politicians, lost, absolutely. And I don't know how people will understand it, but you see, you can't also come to civil servants and you want them to do everything for you, but they don't understand your agenda. You can end up that way. And you won't blame them. You blame yourself.
Where's the space for loyalty? Because people are saying that you need to reward your troops. So they worked hard for you. They put you in there.
Those troops know very well that the president must deliver. So you have been rewarded, not to be rewarded because you worked so hard. You've been rewarded to come and now function and let Kenya function and let people work. But I want to repeat again. I have worked with the civil servants. They are very good. They will guide you. But you must be very clear on what you want to achieve. So I'm hoping all of them, they believe in the hustlers' agenda. I don't know. Kenya's agenda, all of us are hustlers. You are a hustler. Everyone. You hustle to get what you want. And so they are there awaiting to see this blueprint now being implemented and functioning for a country to first bring back the economy, the GDP to grow. You must ensure you start talking about debt and tell us how we, within our country, we can sort out that debt. We can't sort out debt in removing here and bringing here. No. We must think beyond that. And anyway, there are many things you can look at. One of the things I've always wondered, why should a CS be at Harambee House? Then officer number 1 with department this is at Uchumi House. Then another one is at NSSF. Then the other one, are you looking at all the rental itself, where you rent? You find yourself spending millions just on rent.
Keep people in the offices.
Yes.
I hear you. We're going to take a break on that note, and when we come back, we'll talk more with the Honorable Beatrice Elachi. She's here, Member of Parliament, Dagoretti North. Welcome back. We are on the opinion box. My name is Levi Konesa. I'm here with the Honorable Beatrice Elachi. She's a Member of Parliament, Dagoretti North. We're talking about all manner of things, politics. Mheshimiwa, your area, Kilimani, has been trending lately. Matters to do with bars and noises, residential areas. What's your take as the MP?
I think, one, it was very sad to change, to bring in commercial users within Kilimani, knowing very well we had people who had bought their homes, and these are family homes. And then we come up again with this thing of the skyscrapers, which I wish we agreed on the floors. But it's something that the county did during Kidero's time. And so it's very sad on that. But then having said that, I think it's time we also have to manage. Because I cannot have a bar 200 meters to each other unless you tell me there's something different that we are doing and people are making money different. There's need of good coordination. There's need for City Council to come out and say, these are the bars that are 24 hours, these are the bars that must close at midnight, and with the regulations that follow. Regulation number 1, you must have soundproof. 2, you must have parking. And I want to tell Nairobi City.
Your own parking?
Yeah, where you park all these cars, you find them on the road. Nairobi City Council, I'm hoping my governor, Sakaja, can you just come out and do a 24-hour in the Kilimani? Do a 24-hour economy thing. Just collect parking both day and night, because at night is even worse. You find people parking on the road. I'm telling you, if you have a patient within the radius of Kilimani, Hurlingham Valley Arcade, your patient will not arrive to hospital. Because if you use one of the routes, you'll find yourself clogged with vehicles, that they have to look for those guys. So I think one of the things we need is to have clear boundaries in terms of parking. Number 2, all the neighborhoods are really, really suffering in terms of noise. And if you hold those two, I have no issue in people doing business, but we also need to ask ourselves, all these massage parlors, there are so many, until you're even wondering. Some of them, when you walk in, you fear. They are becoming brothers. Yeah. Some are doing genuine business, others are taking advantage and doing just bad business. And we must rein in, if indeed the law does not allow.
And what's the criteria for qualifying as a massage parlor?
I need to go and look at it at the county, by the way, because they are the ones who give them the licenses. And even that massage parlor, does it have to go up to midnight? Because I say, well, it's okay, we are looking for 24-hour
economy.
But some of these things, then give them a license of 24 hours. Because you find somebody with a license of that goes up to 10, and you find 2 a.m., 3 a.m., they are there. They're doing work. So we must, you are losing revenue where you'd have gotten revenue, but also NEMA. NEMA has also let us down. They should come in also and ask themselves all these regulations. And government is looking for money. There's a lot of money all over. The best we can do now is to come, what I think my biggest agenda is I need to see everyone who has built a skyscraper within Kilimani. Do you have drainage and sewer? Where is your sewer going to? How have you ensured? So that even if the rains come, we'll not find ourselves drinking sewer and water together. So those are some of the things. Those ones we are going to look at, and we've agreed with the county. I'm just waiting for Governor to put in his structures properly, and we'll come.
And we'll do that.
I will want to know each of them, how was your license, and what was approved in terms of the building.
Okay. We are here with Honorable Elachi from Dagoretti North, talking about all manner of things that we were just talking about. Kilimani and the things happening there. And you said, well, how come all the bad things are happening in Kilimani?
In Kilimani, yeah. Oh, you come to bars, people are crying. I
was trying to think, do I know a church in Kilimani there?
We have now very few churches. By the way, we have few schools than bars.
The bars
Kilimani.
have overridden the schools.
Yes, and I think one of the disadvantage we have, which I'm hoping CS Kithure Kindiki, Professor, will assist us, and I know he has been a resident also of Dagoretti North, is we just need to get our sub-county. We had done everything, we had applied, and it will help to have, first of all, one police stop. You see, right now, when one does a mistake, you either go to Kibera or you go to Kabete. You want something, you have to go to Westlands, or you go to Kawangware, or you go to Dagoretti South. And so, and it is very unfortunate that State House, where our president is in Dagoretti North, and up to even the students. So it is good to have its own sub-county, which will serve many people who really, every day, everyone just comes complaining. So I'm hoping that's a few of the first things they will do. It will help now to bring together. And for us, through the constituency, we shall be able to now take Kilimani Police and work together to have a DCC office there.
Yeah.
See, when you bring a DCC office there, you bring with other government officers.
Yeah.
And it can really, that is how now you can manage all these. People take advantage because they know the jurisdictions are very different. And so you can be in Kilimani and you have to go to Mudangari, or you decide today I'll go to Kileleshwa. So you're running around, and but if we have one center of where the command is, you have your own DCIO, you have everything, we can deal with all these crimes that we see within Kilimani.
What are you concerned with the most yourself as MP right now?
You see, I'm concerned, like for now, when you go to, let's say Lavington, or even you've seen children at around 5, you have so many young children who have come from school, and all of them are within the marketplaces, they're within the malls. Some of them are being used to peddle even drugs, but they don't know. So someone comes with a car and gives a child something in a pouch, he's told, or she is told, peleka pale. Yes. And he goes, and then you give him 200 or 300. They will know they have unga. And so they are being used, but they don't know. If you ask him, iyo ni nini ulikuwa umebeba? Sijui, I'm being napelekea ule tu. So those are some of the crimes.
It's being used as mules.
Yeah. Which is very sad. And so I said, first of all, we have to deal with the feeding program to ensure every school has a feeding program. Yes, we have those who are feeding now, but they pay 40 shillings. So not many parents will afford even that. So we want to have a feeding program where at least parents can pay 15 shillings or 10. And that feeding program will help to retain kids. And then there's, they'll prefer more being in school than being outside. And then from there now, if you get a child at that hour of 10 p.m.,
you can ask questions.
You pick and go with the child to the parent. And it is the parent who shall be asking questions so that they also become accountable. And that is one thing. The other thing I'm very worried is having all these bars mushrooming all over. So I would want to tell the county, we must start looking at every person's license. And it will be very wrong for those who are running the business. They are also in very key strategic institutions, and so they find it difficult to close because they know they are part of it.
Yeah, somebody made a comparison, 12,000 bars in Nairobi, 4,000 bars in Paris.
Imagine.
3,000 bars in Chicago.
In Chicago. Why are we having 12,000? It is unfortunate and very wrong. And it's because we have, as government, we've left it, you know. The county government has to come in now and be very strict. And also when you look at the young people, oh my goodness, you feel a bit disappointed. We have a lot of drug peddling. We have a lot of drug taking in terms of heroin and all that. You find young people running on a Sunday on a boda. They're just doing like this. Everyone is waiting. And a guy just drives in with a huge car and stops there and supplies. And this landlord has allowed it. And I'm like, it does not work this way. Where are we? And it happens. And you go to police, to where nobody is listening. And so I want to tell the government, we need to rein on it. We need to be a bit strict on this issue of drugs, and young people, they need to have something to do. We either come up, we innovate what we can give our young people. I'm hoping, as they said, the Hustler Fund, but I don't know what the percentage, but... They
said single digits, so maybe...
So single digits, maybe 1%, 9? 9 would be so high. You'll have taken people back to the bank. You can't reach at 9. Yeah. So
it will fall in the bracket of single digits.
It can be 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't go beyond that. Yes, people will just go back to the circles that they are used to, you know. So give them at a lower, and make it like Fuliza. I'm hoping so. Where Safaricom runs it, so that even though I would wish
with a lower interest,
the constituency can run it, first identify those, but in terms of now sending the money, let it go, so that when one does not pay, you see the same way you use Fuliza, same way.
Inakatwa tu huko.
It has to be that way, because many Kenyans go on Fuliza to borrow money. Same, they will borrow this money, but give them at a good rate, not at...
they said they're launching December 1st, so we wait to see.
And
so let me ask you, because you're almost out of time. It's 20th of October, just in about a day or two.
And there will be, it will be at Uhuru Gardens.
Yes, at Uhuru Gardens.
Uhuru did it.
Uhuru Gardens. I saw them practicing. I passed by there the other days. They like it was going to be quite a good event. What are you expecting the president to tell us? If you were to give him advice, what would we want to hear?
Well, now that we'll have finished, I'm hoping the appointments will have
the vetting will actually, it's ending on Saturday. I think it's keeping Thursday. They're doing Friday.
We'll not have finished. So it will be a bit difficult to talk about that until you finalize. But then I expect the president now to change a bit strategy and come out and just give Kenyans what he feels in the midterm they are able to achieve, and in the long term, this is what will be happening. It's a continuous process, but in the mid, as you start on 1st of December with the Hustlers Fund, what else are you bringing in? And I know kids will be also going for their exams. So we have the year 6, we have the standard 8, and you have your task force that is going around in terms of collecting views. And so how do you ensure that in the education sector, parents will be able to know where they are headed? There are a few things that are very challenging today with parents, and maybe all of us are parents who have kids in school. I am very worried with how we buy our uniforms today. I don't know where it changed, but the Ministry of Education decided schools have decided they're the ones who organize everything.
And they send you,
and they send you where they want. But one uniform costs 23,000, and in 2 years' time, you know this child is growing, so you'll have to buy the uniform. I don't know why it costs so high. Even kids who go to international schools are buying school uniform cheaper than kids who go to government schools. It is something we need to look at as we move, so that we ease also the burden from the parents. We must be thinking about food. There is no way, if we are not going to talk about it, and everything, even if whether fuel is going up or down, the question will be, when fuel goes down to 1 shilling, does food also reduces at that time? It won't. So if sugar was at 300, it constantly remains there. And so we have not helped the hustler person you're talking about, or Wanjiko. So we have to ask ourselves that question. As a government, relook at the model and ask yourselves, how are we going to ensure that person who is Mwananchi Wajiko will benefit from what you believe in and what you call bottom up? But don't just say it by mouth, but give us now the actions. There's the macro, and there's the normal economic rates that we look at, and terminologies that we use. Kenyans don't want to hear about macro because they've heard it. Uhuru had it very strongly. The GDP is growing, yes, but you believed in the bottom. And so they must feel that economy touching into
in that bottom.
Yes, and they believed they will have something in their pockets. Yes, they see a bright thing, but they are wondering, and that's why I think many people, they were left, I think, dazed and wondering. A few celebrated, but the country went quiet. It should also worry you. And I would wish the president will pick the pillar of peace and forgiveness. How I wish. I will tell you, not just me, we Kenyans want to move on, but you keep on taking them back to the mud. And they're like, no.
But some will say they have. They'll tell you, we are praying nation now.
Yes, if you are a praying nation, you and me, we pray. We pray to achieve. We have never prayed to tell God, I am from that side, and God, now I'm remembering where I came from. I remember the blessings that God has given me. I mean, I don't remember the struggle I have. It reminds me only to know that I need to move for better. And God has opened that door for better. So if you are a praying nation, then don't take us back to the mud. Don't sing that song. Even Abraham left to go to the promised land. He never, even Lut, never. When he turned, he went. So why are you turning back as Lut? Why are you doing that to Kenyans? You told us you have moved. You told us you believe in the Bible. The Bible tells us, move. God moves you, and he takes you through what you have gone through, so that when he comes to put you through, you will remember where you have come from. But you cannot be a nation where you come, all the preachers, everyone, starting from my bishop at the Anglican Church all the way. And we keep on repeating the same. If you cannot forgive Uhuru, if you cannot move on, and you are talking about Raila, you have not moved on, and you have not been blessed then. That's what you're trying to tell us. But if you're blessed, you have won, you have moved on, get down to business. Do the work that Kenyans gave you. They believed in you. They believe you're taking them somewhere. Don't come again and do it the Kibaki style. For once, do it Kibaki way. Keep quiet. Come out when you're telling Kenyans, we have moved, we have done this. We are unable to do this because of 1, 2, 3. They will understand. But don't remind them where you always have said was the bitter place. You have moved out of that bitterness. You have come to where you wanted. You wanted the hill. God has given you the hill. So, what else are you asking God? Are you telling God now again, it was wrong to give me this? No. So I don't expect again a speech that will come to tell Kenyans how bad we are doing. We know we are doing bad. We already know. That's why people are not eating food. That is why children are roaming all over Nairobi, wondering what to do. That is why parents, after post-COVID, we knew things are bad. Unless they never knew there was something called COVID. But after post-COVID, every Kenyan went down. You went down. We closed everything. They know they are somewhere. They need that hope. You have always told them, it has arrived. You said freedom, it has arrived. So if there is freedom, let us see the young people who are wallowing in those cells and with petty things, let them come out. But they should come out with a plan, or else they will come back there. Why? There's nothing right now happening everywhere. People are just wondering. They are struggling on what to do day in, day out. But the other thing they must understand as a government, you cannot be a government. You want to lead people, you must have a heart for forgiveness.
I hear you.
Yes.
Well said. Honorable Beatrice Elachi, Member of Parliament, Dagoretti North. She was with us tonight. That's the show we have. Have a good night. God bless you. See you next Tuesday.